Hello and welcome to the Kentucky Gold Hunter. Today we are out at the creek, normal stomping grounds in northern Kentucky, and we are going to look at a new pan. What I've done here, as I've showed you in a shorter video, is I've created a speed pan. So this pan is also, you can call it a scouring pan. There's a lot of different ways that you could describe this, but basically we got miner's moss in the bottom of the pan. It's not like high tech, but what's going to happen here is with this really fine flour gold, it's going to allow for quicker clean outs of speed panning. Now, when I talk about speed panning, what I'm talking to you about when we're talking about panning is going to be, I put a shovel full of dirt in here, I slosh it around, I pan it, get the top off of it down to like black sandish material, and I put another shovel in, and you keep going. And you're accumulating material in the bottom over and over and over, as many shovels as you can. And then you take, at the end of maybe 10 shovels, you would wash your pan out and keep those concentrates and bring those concentrates home. Speed panning can probably be possibly as fast as running a sluice. However, it's a lot more work. There's a special type of stance that I like to take when I'm panning, and I think that everybody has their own kind of techniques. But if you're doing this kind of thing and trying to pan like this, it's going to be difficult on your back. You need to lower your center of gravity. I like to pop a horse stance. This is a horse stance because it's hard to push a person over when they've lowered their center of gravity and divided their base. But with this, since I'm lower, I can also take this pan and I can rest my knees, or elbows on my knees, and there you go. I'm actually structurally sound here. Kind of a workout, but I can basically use my legs to help with my structure, right? And you put this pan underwater, and the idea with this pan, with the stuff in the bottom, is that I'm going to put this in the water and I'm going to shake this thing vigorously. I want to stratify everything in the pan, and I want to get all the heavies to fall through that stratification, and then I want everything out, because I know for a fact that any gold that's in this pan is in this miner's moss. So I can basically push the material. After I've stratified enough, I can just push the material out of the pan and keep going. So that's going to be the way that we're working right now. I'm going to get set up. We're going to wash this pan out so that we know there's no cross-contamination from another pan. I'm going to go where I know that there is gold, okay? And I'm just going to start panning. And we're going to videotape it all. I'll videotape the clean out. We'll record that as well for you, so that you can see, and the throwback. And we're going to try to get this all in one shot. That way, you know, I'm not peppering my pans or anything. So I'm going to go take care of Ziggy real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay. Well, let's see. This is a normal place right here. So I think that, let's see, go in and around this log, and I know behind that is also a good place. Let's see, my panning area probably be, we got a little deep water right here, so I'll probably go right there. Sounds good. Okay, you can see me on the camera there. Good deal. All right, and then I'll do a quick, I don't even know if I want to do a test pan, because I know that there is gold here, and I trust this pan that much. So I'm going to dig in several places. We'll do 10 pans, and after 10 pans we're going to wash this out, and we're going to make sure there's no gold in it. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Get this thing very adequately clean. And I don't see any material at all. Yeah, there's nothing in that. At the bottom of this pan, I actually left a bit of a point, if you can see it up here, where there is just a thin line where there's no miner's moss, and the reason for that, it's up next to these big riffles, and so that's a place where everything can kind of release and come out of there. The other side, not so much like that, right? Very close on this side, but I wanted a little open spot here to give like an extra riffle effect. Now, 10 pans, right? That's what we said. All right. Where are we going to take them from? Okay, I'm going to go right behind this log where I've always got had good luck. So you can see me, yes? We want to get our hands in there, right? Get any big stuff out, get it stirred up. We want to go at it. You can use it like a potato pan as well, like this. Kind of swirl. Now, very quickly, I've gone down to get some bigger rocks out of here. I've gone down to this much material, right? There's just a little bit in there, but most of what you can't see is trapped inside. So that was one pan. That's how quickly I'm able to go through one pan with this cup. So put that there. Material doesn't look great. Now, I had a friend of mine by the name of Mike tell me that gold settles, and when stratified, gold settles at a rate in water, in standing water, at 1 inch per second. So if I put 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds into a pan, I've given time for all gold to fall in a little bit of turbulent water. So that was number 3, correct, I think? 4. Now that was pan number 4. And we've got a lot of black sand built up in here now. So I'm having to work some of the black sand out. But the entire, bottom of this is full. So we want to work with displacement here as much as we can. What we need to do is put more gold in the bottom and then more black sand coming out, because gold's twice as heavy as black sand. Five. What I'm doing, so that's pan number 6. And what I'm doing is I'm panning it down and I'm keeping just a little bit of material that is free in the pan, right? Just a little bit of extra that can be tossed around. I don't want to scour it all the way down to this necessarily. I want to leave a little bit. 7. And so what I'm basically doing, the motion here, I'm putting my riffles at the front and the back, and I'm going from side to side, and I'm letting the wash come out of the sides. All the rock and sand that is light and wants to come out of the pan, I let it come out of the pan, because the gold's not going to make it that far up the pan. The gold's going to the bottom. The lighter material is the stuff that's on the top after you stratify. So you want to stratify, and then you want to start to get rid of the stuff on the top. That's the two-part process in panning. You've got stratification, and then you wash off the top. Stratify to make it settle, and wash off the top. Because of our trap in the bottom of the pan, we can stratify and then aggressively stratify in order to, because the gold's settled, to get rid of the rest of the stuff in the pan. And our washing happens very quickly. Once we know we have stuff in the bottom of the pan, we're not afraid of losing it anymore. Okay, so you can use this like a botella pan, and I've had a little bit of it's kind of, you can't be too aggressive when you're doing botella style with this, but you're just gonna go in a circle. You're gonna swirl. And they always say don't swirl. Well, this is a different scenario. But when you swirl with the botella pan, it's the same concept. They got the cone in the bottom, and all the gold's not going to come out of that cone. Well, our cone in the botella pan world, I forget how to say that, is our miner's moss in the bottom of our pan. So this is number 8. All right, this is number 8. Still got a little material left in the bottom. 2 more. I'm running out of room here. Panning room. Okay, that's 9. One more. Now, we have done our 10 pans. Now, we need to clean out into this pan. Let's see how easy that is for us, considering that wash this pan out real good. Nothing in that pan. All right, and here's what we're left with at the end is just got some black sand going on. Okay, and basically all you can see in here is some black sand and pebbles. Looks like normal cons to me. Normal concentrates. So, tip our pan up and we wash. It's as simple as that. Just like you do normally when you wash out a pan. You're gonna tip this dude up and you're gonna wash the crap out of it. The whole point is to get the gold and everything to stick in the pan. So that means cleanup takes a little bit of extra time. And I'm okay with that. If I got all the gold, I'll do a little bit of cleanup. That's part of the whole thing, isn't it? I'm going to turn my pan a little bit because that moss is varying in its, the moss kind of has some variance to it. It's not like a matting where everything is straight up. So I'll show you this. Here's our pan. We've got a few pebbles left in there. We basically cleaned that out, and you can see that ring I was talking about at the top. That's how I can kind of tell if there's still material in the bottom. And then, what did we get? Okay, so this is how much material we are left with. You can't really see that very well. Let's figure out a way to do that. I left my tripod at home today, so you guys are propped up on a rock right now. All right, so this is the material that I'm left with here. About, I don't know, 1/10 of a pan maybe. Right, not bad. So now that I have it in this pan, I can throw it back and further work it down. Okay, so I'm gonna put you guys back over here on your rock tripod, and I'm going to go pan this down. You can watch, and we'll see what we get. All right. Don't know how easily I can hold you guys and peel this back. So I'm going to peel it back standing right here, and then I'll show it to you. Now I don't have any surfactant in here. So if we have small gold, it's probably going to roll around. This is a lot of black sand. This is going to take a minute. As per usual, if I start seeing gold, I'm gonna come get you. Alright, so since I got a lot of black sand in the pan, now what I've done is I've worked some of that material, and I know there's no gold in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that material out of my pan. Okay, I've got material up here, and this is material I went through. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Most of it, just in case there's any gold at the bottom. Then I'm going to continue to peel these black sands back now. did just see a fleck up there. So we got gold in the pan, folks. You have to consider also the time that it took me to go through 10 pans without the miner's moss in the bottom. You're talking about a very careful winnowing process for this very ultra fine gold. Yeah, there's a piece. Okay, so I see my first piece of gold just chilling. And when you're speed panning for fine gold, easy to toss that stuff out. Fine gold doesn't go fast unless you give it brakes, if that makes any sense. Basically what I'm saying is the brakes are, you got to give the gold a place to go and settle if you're going to get rid of the rest of the stuff. So yeah, we'll keep get all that gold way up in there. See a little bit of lead. We're starting to show some color here. I'm going to try to get you guys to see this stuff that you're seeing here. Try to zoom in on this. Those are some of the flags. And some people will work all day to get that. You know, some people will work all day. What are we looking at here? I'm going to count these real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, we've done our cleanup and we have gold in the pan. We have a glare going on that is nuts. So I'm trying to lean the pan all the way up here. Gold is sticking to the back of the pan. Yep, that's what we're looking at. So yeah, you saw how quickly I was going through the material. It's pretty simple. I'm going to have to break out the snuffer bottle because I can't just toss all this gold away. But we came from right up underneath this log here, 10 pans. It was probably 15 shovels, something like that. You know, yeah, this is where I normally like to dig. So we could do all that again. I could show you again, but I think that it's pretty self-explanatory. If you put miner's moss in the bottom of your pan, you can very aggressively stratify this material, and you don't have to worry so much about washing. You know, there's, like I said, there's 2 methods to your panning. Okay, there's your stratification, which is where you're shaking stuff around, and that's where everything settles. And then there's the washing part, and that's where your riffles come in. Okay, because what you're going to do is that material that's in there, you're going to put your pan in the water and you're going to pull back. And that motion right there is what you're looking for with panning. Okay, and you just want to work the edge of the pan like that. Okay, when you have a bunch of material into it. My goal today was to get out here and test this this speed pan, the Glacial Torrent. Trying to come up with a good name for this design. And everybody can make this pan, okay? You know, I'm not trying to sell people pans, right? But if you get a piece of miner's moss on the internet, it's cheap. This stuff is made out of some kind of a plastic material, and just silicone it to the bottom of your pan. You know, you're going to increase your odds. So I would do that with 1 pan out of your set, probably a larger pan, and then you're going to have to be able to find pretty good gold anywhere you go. I just went through a 1.5 buckets of material in just a few minutes, really. Okay, I'm not sure what the time is. We'll have to time it and see how long, but I was also talking to you. I wasn't in a hurry. So to be able to move 1.5 buckets of material when you are basically just panning in 5-10 minutes. You know, I've heard the old timers say that it should take you 10 minutes to go through one pan. Okay, I just went through 10 pans, you know, in probably 5 minutes. Pretty small gold to be collecting in a pan so quickly. All right, well, we tested the Glacial Torrent. I like that name. Again, I suggest leaving, don't make it perfectly round. I would leave a small, near your big riffle set, I would leave a small area so that it has room to kind of clean itself out when you want to get this material out of the pan. Okay, but yeah, this is our thing here. Anybody can make this. That's a wonderful thing about it. You know, I'm not selling pans, right? This is just here so that everybody has a better time, so that everybody gets more gold. That's why I'm around. I love this hobby. I want to share it with you. I want people to be successful at it. Price of gold's outrageous. If we can find, you know, little hacks and ways to make sure that we are keeping everything that we find, or make our jobs easier as prospectors and miners, I mean, why not? You know. So yeah, I think this is a good thing. But you're never going to get away from your pan, right? You're going to need a flat bottom pan. Think of this pan like a Miller table. Yeah, think of this like a sluice box. Okay, so you can take this pan in and you can wash the crap out of the material, and then you can empty it out into here and you can look at it finally. But you can't go through material that fast in this pan and not lose something, and not be sure that you're not losing something. So, you know, I'd like to put this to the test. I'd like for more people to test it out. You let me know what you think. It's just some silicone in the bottom of the pan. You don't have to put a hole in your pan or ruin a pan. Just throw a little bit of silicone sealant in the bottom of the pan and get yourself a little piece of miner's moss for 10 bucks. And, you know, just cut it up and put it in there. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be there. And you got to go use it. And selecting good material, as usual. You have to know that the material that you're working has gold in it in order to actually test this. But anyway, Kentucky Gold Hunter, we're out here, we're doing it, and we want you to know how to do it too.
Welcome to the Kentucky Gold Hunter. Subscribe now and join the hunt.